We're starting this week the book of Deuteronomy, as I mentioned in an earlier video, and I didn't really give so much of an overview of the book as much as just an ode to the book in a sense. We have in the first chapter of Deuteronomy, verse 27, very striking verse that I think comes at the core of what we're commemorating now during these times, the 3 weeks, the 9 days, as we enter into Tisha B'Av, which is of course the darkest day in the Jewish calendar. On Tisha B'Av we commemorate the destruction of the temple, which led to our exile. Now, in Deuteronomy, and that really is linked, although the Zohar links it really back to the beginning of time, to Adam and Eve and the original sin. Classically, we've always looked at the incident of the spies as taking place also on Tisha B'Av. The report and the people murmuring in their tents and mourning. And this is the words that they said, according to Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 27, that they sin us Hashem Oisanu, because the Lord hated us, did he take us out of the land of Egypt to put us into the hands of the Amorites. That type of a mistaken attitude about God is really the source of many of our problems in life. I remember there was a TV show in the 90s, Seinfeld was very popular, and there was the character George. He was speaking to the therapist, and he said, "Oh, God would not let me succeed." So the therapist said, "I thought you don't believe in God." He said, "Well, for the bad things I do." That's the problem. That's the root of our problems. Thinking that God hates us is the root of all of our problems, both on the national level and the personal level. And that's why the Baal Shem Tov teaches, it's brought in the Sefer Toldos Yaakov Yosef, the first Hasidic book published, that the reason why our exile is so long is because people don't take enough time to meditate and contemplate the blessing we say before the Shema, which is Ahava Rabbah, or some versions Ahavas Olam. How much God loves us. If we focus on that, how much God loves us, it's the solution to all of our problems. Why? Because we're not treating the symptoms, but we're curing the root problem. Because the root problem is this mistake that we mistakenly believe that God hates us. If we would realize how much God loves us, and said in the name of the Baal Shem Tov, that God loves even the most wicked person more than any father's ever loved his son in history. More than any father's ever loved his son in history, God hates the most wicked person. So the more so righteous people, or just plain mediocre people, the level of love that God has, we can't imagine. It's eternal, just like God is eternal. And so that's why the key is remembering how much God loves us. Many of the tzaddikim said that in that thing, the Ahava Rabbah thing that we sing for the Shema, we could actually pray for anything. Let's think about this. Let's focus on how much God loves us. And in that way, we will cure all of the problems that we have in life by removing this false idea that God hates us, but rather replacing it with the truth of how much God loves us, that's the message of Tisha B'Av. That's what we have to work on now. That's what we have to work on this Shabbos, and see that vision of Shabbos Chazon. And when we recognize that, then everything will be turned around. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm sorry for the interruptions. All right. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. And you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well. God bless. Take care.